everyone's commenting on how much they love the music. I love that. That's great. Like, hey, hey, everyone. We are so excited to have you for this session of the broadcast. As you can see, we're sticking with the new format. We are really excited about it. The feedback from you guys has been really positive, and we love it. We love how interactive it is. Not just ourselves being in the same room, but with you guys, it's been really interactive. So
doesn't it feel so much more like we're connected? Like even just you guys being able to see a little bit like beforehand, kind of, you know, what's going on and stuff, just like with the music, the comment with the music and stuff. It's just great to be so connected.
Make sure to say hi in the comments. I see a handful of you, but I can see the total streaming numbers between Facebook, StreamYard, YouTube. So make sure to say hi. There's many more of you in that have said hi. So
hi guys.
We want you guys engaging, especially during these events, but also after the events. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the YouTube, that you've liked and followed the Facebook page, because a lot of what we engage during this event is also later in some content that we have posted there.
Sounds good. You can keep going. I'm checking on something here. So I saw someone say video was blurry, frozen. How you guys? Let us know in the comments how that's going.
Yeah, let us know if you guys are having any issues with the visual.
I don't see any more comments on it. So, all right. Most importantly, is audio good for everyone? I guess let us know you can hear us okay. Just waiting to see anyone pipe in there before we get started.
See a lot more hellos. Everybody's popping in now. See, I think Kendra was right. Everyone was outside with the nice weather. They're all getting in now.
Yeah, everybody's like, all right, I guess I got to log in. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, several people said video's blurry, try different, still audio's good. So, all right, well, maybe we're having some bandwidth issues, but we'll keep going either way, especially since the audio is good. Hopefully that clears up as we go.
I wish it was like the blur that they do, like that makes you look
okay, glamour glow.
I don't think it is, but you know, it'd be really nice if it was.
All right, so we'll go ahead and jump in here. Today we're going to cover three things. The first one is we'll be kind of continuing what we've been talking about, but today more specifically, what makes a client hesitate. So, you know, sometimes they're called overcoming objections, but there are things, there's moments that we've all been in that perfect pitch, and what makes a client hesitate, what makes the deal kind of stop. The other side of that coin, though, the second thing we'll be covering is what makes the deal move forward. We have this bird's eye view where we see exactly when deals move forward, what was done, how they move forward. And the third one, I'm always telling you that marketing's got some brand new tools for you, but this time they've got something really amazing. I know I say that all the time, but they put together an AI-based email generation tool. And this is really cool. You basically tell it who you're trying to reach out to, what industry they are, just a couple of quick
all my thunder away so early.
Well, you have to. That's how YouTube works. You say it all at the beginning, and then
we'll show you at the end.
So you click a few things, and then it's going to generate the perfect email with the perfect subject line, and most importantly, the perfect place to send them. Like what page? We get this question all the time. So you're going to want to see that. So those are the three things we're covering today.
And honestly, to what you're kind of talking about with that secret weapon, I think everyone knows the feeling when you're sitting with a client, they're nodding, the conversation's going great, they're asking the right questions, and then you kind of feel a change, a shift. And maybe you hear it in their tone before they even say the words, but it kind of shifts to, well, let me think about it, or maybe I'll run it by my CPA.
Yeah. And, you know, for a lot of people, I think if they're less experienced, they think that's the end. That's the end of the deal. That's as far as it's going to go. And again, that bird's eye view I was talking about, we get to see, we get to know what is it that happens when those objections or those hesitations happen, and what do you say to keep the deal moving forward?
Yep. I'm so glad that we're focusing on this, because today when we're pulling that together, we're going to have the opportunity to really pull back the curtain and see what's happening in our prospect's head when they're hesitating. So not that surface objection, because that's there because there's something else going on. So we're going to dig deeper and kind of find out the real reasoning behind that. And then more importantly, we're going to show you, as Ryan said, for a couple different ways, but one with the new tool, exactly what to say in that moment so that the deal doesn't die. And then we're going to play it out in real time. We're going to do some back and forth. You guys always love that. And you're going to get to walk away today really knowing how to start that next, not only start the next conversation, but make sure that it gets to the point where you want it to get to.
Yeah.
And if today was your first time with us, this is your first broadcast, don't worry. This is going to stand completely on its own. But you can always go back and rewatch the prior two that we're kind of following up and teeing up from on YouTube if you did miss those.
So before we go into that, and we're doing a good job getting right into our topics lately, Kendra, I do need to take a pit stop on let's talk about tax season. And I think people, they may be confused. They may be thinking
There's like a collective, like, what are you talking about?
because it's currently May 11th as of this recording.
Yep. And in a lot of our partners' minds, April 15th is our cutoff for tax season, but that's a really big misconception. Although April 15th, and then, even in March, a lot of people filed, there's this time frame that post April 15th all the way to into fall when, people are delaying filing and things like that, that there's a different mindset. And I know we talk about that when we're talking about leading up to tax season, but that's different than what we get right now. A lot of our clients have either decided to wait or now they know they owe and they're trying to figure out what to do. And just because April 15th came and went does not mean the problem went away. There's a mentality shift, there's a difference, and there's a different kind of urgency.
Well, and most people don't realize this, but in most cases, outside of a few different C Corp situations, those tax bills come to the residence. Yeah. They come to the house. There's no escaping this pressure.
Yeah. And they also come on bright yellow paper. Like you cannot miss them. So there's a huge pressure, and it is different than what was leading up to the 15th.
So if the advisor comes along, maybe they originally talked to them in December or even January. Yeah. Now all of a sudden you think, oh, well, the pressure's gone. It's outside of tax season, but that's not the case at all. Mm-hmm. You've got to understand that now all of a sudden they're under a different kind of pressure. They may not be thinking about filing taxes, but they are thinking about how do they pay off that liability, that underpayment.
It's a weight.
If you show up with a solution to that, you're going to be welcomed in.
Right.
So we see a lot of deals all the way through mid-June that are coming around because of that. So let's jump into talk about today a little bit. So we didn't mean that for this to be a 3-part series.
No, the last 3 months have really, well, being the third this time, have played off each other unintentionally. So when we first started this, but as we saw it kind of mapping out, we realized, oh, we're kind of building each month on the previous.
So we started out by talking about who, and so Kendra, talk about a little bit. Really, the who is any business owner, any employer, but there are 5 industries that are, just remind everyone 10 seconds.
I feel like I've drilled this to death, but it's always good to cover it again. We do have 5 top industries that are always going to be, as far as like income generating for us and for them, hands down. And that's going to be restaurants, auto dealerships, hotels, assisted living. And the top is always manufacturers because they qualify for so much. There's always one more, as you've pointed out so many times to us before, that rise above these, and that would be anybody that you have an existing relationship with. That's going to put them at the top of this list because there's this something you can build on already that's not there with somebody that you wouldn't already know with these industries.
Yeah. Now, the second thing we talked about who. This is what we spent most of how. We talked about how to position yourself, how to have the right conversation while sitting in front of the client. And so that was last month.
I love this because we have had so many new partners come on, and they were trying to wrap their minds around, like, how do I represent myself with GMG services along with what I've already been or what have you. And we provided them the 2 different aspects, the tactic for using a buddy or a division. And we actually mapped those out in the broadcast page for you. And it's been great. We even went through a couple of different advisors who used our formula for emails really, really well in the last couple of months. And I loved that because we actually got so much feedback. I had some advisors ask, were those real? Like, this is actually an advisor's email that I stole and blocked out because I wanted to show you how easy it was to be able to do this.
So that brings us to today, which again, we talked about who are the best people to get in front of. How are you positioning yourselves? We're just going to camp on conversion and talk about that. Now, this has been interesting because, we always, like any organization, we've got, I guess, like our super users, the people that they're doing deals on a daily, on a weekly basis. And we have a lot of people that do deals occasionally because they've got some set business clients that they work in front of and kind of everything in between. What I love though is over the last few months, I've seen a lot of new faces, people that have never been.
Right.
And by new faces, what I mean is maybe they were an occasional deal person before, and now all of a sudden they've got regular weekly submissions coming in. And in me getting to reach out, talk to a few of those people, I'm hearing that not to just, oh, the training's working, but giving everyone a more focused, here's who you should be in front of. They're getting in front of more people than they ever have before. But Kendra, the other side to that is maybe some of the people that aren't super users, meaning they're not doing deals on a daily and weekly basis. They're having maybe they're having colder conversations than they're used to, and they're getting more, I'm going to use the nasty word, objections. They're getting more hesitations.
I think it's more interaction.
Yeah.
Because they're out there more. They're using all of this training and tools that we provided. So they're interacting more. And so they're getting more feedback, more interaction. I always try to make it like super positive.
Yeah.
So interaction is, but you're right. It's getting more feedback from.
Well, that's because before, maybe if they were only doing a few deals a year to really warm clients, now all of a sudden they're out there expanding their circle a little bit, who they're pitching to, who they're having these dialogues with. And maybe it didn't go like as buttery smooth, so to speak, as, when they, like we had the one a couple months ago, we had someone on one of Masterminding on the broadcast that, sold to a company, like his brother-in-law was in the manufacturing chain or something like that, So now all of a sudden, as you're getting outside of that circle, maybe, they don't know you as well. Maybe they're starting to say, well, prove it to me, and things like that.
I think it's a good opportunity to ask you, Heather, what have you been noticing from advisors as far as feedback throughout the last few months?
I have seen a lot of success, like you said. I'm having conversations with advisors who are saying, I'm using those tools. I use the buddy approach, or I use the division approach, and I'm getting in front of them. It's been really great to sit down and have a conversation. And then they're like, but it just sort of died off. And so I dig into it a little bit and I find out they're having that great conversation, but maybe there's a pause. And it's not that the prospect wasn't interested. It's more that the advisor didn't know what to say when they got that pause.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you pointed that out, because that's what we're going to key in on for a while today. And what Heather just described, that quiet moment where some of us tend to freeze up. Maybe things are going so fast, and then all of a sudden there's like a lag or this quietness. It does show up in two specific places. We learned this when we were talking about this broadcast we're going to do. It happens in the meeting when somebody maybe pushes back or asks a question or has a hesitation or an objection, but it also can happen after the meeting when things go quiet. And that's two different types of situations, two different skill sets. So Ryan, can you walk us through it so that we can spot where that missed opportunity might be?
Donald said it well. I like this. Tell them what you're going to tell them, then tell them what you told them. I love that. I love the way you're presenting that. So we're going to spend a lot of time camping on that exact thought process. So in conversion, there's really two sides to the equation, Kendra. One is the meeting itself, and the other one is the follow-up side.
Okay.
The follow-up side is no one's favorite side to do. And I'll tease a little bit and say, if you do the meeting, the better you do the meeting, the less follow-up you have to do. And so with that in mind, I kind of want to start on the meeting side of the equation.
So last month we had the opportunity.
That was our last slide, by the way. Aren't you guys?
I love it. So
yeah.
few slides.
So I think we had like 5 slides and 4 of them were from last month. So I'm that makes me happy.
Slides once, use them 15 times. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Last month, I think a lot of you might remember that we're on, we asked you for feedback. We asked you to put it in chat because we do use that information. And Heather and I kind of got together and I took some of that information back to Ryan and we talked about it, and something kept rising to the top. And a lot of the words were objections or interactions. And I'm going to use a different word. I'm going to use client hesitation. And there were 6 different kind of topics that kept popping up. So I asked you if we could pull those in today and kind of cover them one by one to be able to cover all of those experiences, all of those interactions, break them down, know exactly what to say on each one. But before we jump into that, Ryan, I want to go back to something you mentioned a minute ago, because I think it's foundational to kind of everything else that we're talking about today. Everything sits on that. And talk to us about what exactly does it look like to present GMG services properly? Because I think some advisors may tend to kind of use those or create those situations or those hesitations without even realizing it, kind of before they even get the ball rolling.
Yeah. So I did so piping hot in the studio. I did just turn the air on. So Kendra, you may need to pull your mic in just a
Closer.
little.
You guys can tell me if I'm not loud enough.
Yeah. I will tell you, and by the way, I want this to be an interactive call. I can see your comments right here. So can Kendra, so can Heather. I want to hear your comments. I want to see your questions. I want to interact with you. I want to, answer the concerns and the things you're running to in the field. I can tell you that 25 years of doing this, a lot of objections or hesitations are self-inflicted.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to frustrate anyone right off the bat and say, oh, well, listen, we're going to spend 90% of our time talking about how to overcome objections. I'm not going to give you this BS answer up front of don't get them in the first place.
Right.
What I will say is, early in our company, we used to do these executive coaching, sometimes small groups, sometimes one-on-one. And so I really had the pleasure, and I learned so much from talking to advisors one-on-one and hearing and coaching them. What are you experiencing when you go out there? And we touched on it last month, but like one example is someone saying they get CPA brought up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would say when I'm saying self-inflicted is, well, if you're getting CPA brought up a lot, eliminate the word tax. Like, take it right out of your equation. Take it out of your pitch. Like,
because it's a trigger word, right?
It's a trigger word,
Okay.
obviously, the way you're saying it. Or I had a one-on-one coaching over the course of months with an advisor that kept getting lawyer brought up. Oh, I want to have my lawyer check this.
Which is crazy. It's like a red flag. Like, what's happening in that conversation that's making lawyer pop up over and over again?
Well, and when I asked about the pitch, it was, well, I said, pitch me. Tell me what you're saying. I need to understand this. And what was coming up was, I like to tell them about our audit defense and our audit protection. I like to go over our secure server.
Yeah.
I like to make sure that they know that we're signing an NDA and everything.
A lot of legalese.
Yeah. So you're creating this environment where they're thinking legal. And so here's the hard part. And it is tricky. What we do is immensely complicated. I mean, immensely. Like to file for the R&D tax credit for someone is it generally takes you, the advisor. It takes usually a team leader. It takes a project manager here. Generally at least one attorney and at least one engineer, on top of the fact that their CPA will ultimately get involved.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. That's the complexity involved. Now, the upside to that is we do it very efficiently. And on average, for a manufacturer, we're over $700,000 in a physical check.
Right.
So, but here's the temptation. You can be proud of this company and proud of what we do here. And that can create this, like, I want to show them.
Right.
I want to puff out my chest and show them how hard this is, how difficult this is. Yeah. And the hard part is actually to do the opposite, is to simplify this process. And that's what you're going to see us do today, is just in every dialogue you have to make this seem like it's the easiest thing in the world. And I know people will say, well,
don't we want them
but then
to
they're going to want to go out and do it
is?
on their own.
Right.
Let me have you think about every YouTube video you see, every self-instruct. I mean, literally the way they start is, let me teach you how to send successful emails. The 3 steps to successful emails. And then for 25, 35, 45 minutes, they're going to try to teach you, and they're going to give it all away for free. They're going to make it seem so simple, except then you're going to go and you're going to try to set up the account. It's going to be difficult. And what you're going to do is you're going to pay them to do it. Okay. We're not doing anything different. You've got to oversimplify it, because Kendra, if they see you sweating about how hard it is,
they're going to start to sweat, right?
They're going to start to sweat. You got to make this seem like this is the easiest thing in the world. And so I do recognize, no matter how good you do at that, you're still going to get objections. You're still going to get hesitation. You're still going to get no's and rejections. So with that in mind, I won't just cop out and say,
just do it right.
Just do it right the first time. I'll answer any. In fact, I'm going to challenge everyone. And Heather, you can star these. Any objection you want to throw at me, I'll do as many as I can. We used to play a game, Kendra, called Stump the Advisor at our live conferences.
Mm-hmm.
People can throw anything they want at me. And I'll tell you, I won't just cop out. I will give you the real answer, but I'll also point it towards a deal as we go through it. So start entering your objections that you see now.
Looks like Jason already added a good one.
Yeah.
Well, I mentioned that in kind of planning for today, I came up with 6, and we'll see how many that get added fall under this category of 6. And if it's okay with you, maybe we'll just walk through each one of them, and we'll start with the
Stump
first
the
one.
Advisor. I love it.
Okay. So the first one I came up with was, and I kind of call this 2 different things, is why have I never heard of this before? And I'm calling that the I don't really understand.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. Sorry, I'm like not quite in mode yet. So why have I never, well, I guess, I'm sorry. Let me back up a little bit and tell you, you should write this down. Which camera am I looking at? You should write this down. And write this down for real. This is my formula, my recipe for how to answer these. In fact, Heather, can you do the banner thing as I go through? Okay. So the first thing is, Kendra, they have to actually answer the question.
The partner, the advisor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Because some people would try to like dance around it. I think sometimes we get hesitations or objections, we're afraid to answer it,
Yeah.
even though we know the answer. So I like that. Answer the question.
You have to actually answer the question.
Okay.
The second one I would say is that you've got to point towards your goal. And what I mean by that is you have to, Heather, you're like the world's fastest typer. That was pretty good. Either that or you've heard me teach this before and you're working ahead. So you have to know, kind of like when you get in your car, you got to punch in the GPS if you want to take it to the right place.
Okay.
So
know what the goal of the interaction is.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's usually one of two. You're either trying to get the next appointment or you're trying to run the calculator.
All right.
Like those are the two. So you got to point towards your goal. The third one is you really need to, I don't know, I call it FOMO sometimes. I guess normalize is what I would, go with that word, Heather. Normalize. I like that. So you have to normalize what their concern is. No one likes feeling that they're the only ones to ever think that, or, like they already feel on edge because they don't understand this tax
Make
credit
them comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta, so you're going to do that with keywords like always, rarely, never, things like that. What you're going to do most, I love the word most, so you're going to say, most manufacturers I work with have that same question. So you don't make them feel stupid for having the question.
Right.
Okay. Heather, what were my 3 again?
Answer the question.
Okay. Answer the question. Yes. That one's important because you can do the other 2 and it won't.
But you lose all credibility if you don't actually answer the question.
You'll just feel like you're dodging them. So answer the question. My second one, point towards your goal. And my third one is normalize. Okay. Normalize, make them feel okay for asking that question.
All right. So we have the formula. You want to go do number
fire
1?
Away.
Okay. So why have I never heard about this before, Ryan?
Okay. There's actually a fourth. I'm sorry. The fourth one is you have to, I apologize. So the fourth one is I try to take what they're asking me or what they're throwing at me and really see what's underlying that. So in your case,
their motivation behind what they're saying.
Yeah. Like in your case, the question is, I don't think this is a real thing. They're saying you're full of crap, Basically. And so if you know that plays into it also as you're going. So, okay, fire away again. Now I'm going to actually answer.
Now you're ready. So why have I never heard about this before, Ryan?
Well, so I guess, okay, I'm not doing very good today. I guess my formula for that, if I'm applying it, is I'm going to make them feel, okay, well, a lot of people feel that way. And then I'm going to normalize it. You probably have heard of this before. Did you guys take PPP or ERC?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And my point would be our software. Okay, so now I had to get that in my head. I apologize. But so throw it at me for real. I'll respond with that formula in mind.
So why have I never heard about this before?
Well, I think a lot of people feel like they haven't heard about it before, but you probably have. In fact, I would almost bet you or someone you know have taken these programs. Have you ever taken ERC or PPP before?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We did.
Okay. Well, that's one of these programs. The problem with those are that they were very short-lived.
Right.
I mean, they're one-off programs, very short period of time. Some of the programs we look at have been around for 50 plus years because we're in the business of long-term getting you credits year after year after year. Now, the way that works is we've actually built software that goes out there and looks at everything a manufacturer would qualify for. We look at over 100 local, state, and federal programs. Those programs are dead. You know, ERC, PPP, you got everything you were going to get from them. But there are other programs that you can get year after year. And that's really what I want to show you today. Okay. So again,
I saw the formula in the answer.
Yep. I think everybody gets it.
Okay.
Please fire your own fire questions. I want this to be interactive.
Okay. My second one was basically, this is too good to be true.
Okay.
So somebody says you're going through it and they're like, this is too good to be true.
Yeah. You know, I've heard this one a lot, especially pre-COVID, not so much post-COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-COVID, you know, I've been doing this for 25 years, by the way. And so pre-COVID, it was my job to get out there and help people understand what they might qualify for. Post-COVID, I have this advantage. Most companies have either taken ERC or PPP, or they know someone that have.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys take some of those funds?
Yeah, we
okay.
did.
Was that helpful?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, you know, really what we want to do is we want to look that's done and gone. What programs do you qualify for going forward? Now, some of the programs we look at, they're permanent. They've been around for 50 years. So my job is to get you into those. And then I'm gonna go right in and I'm gonna lead right back into the calculator.
Awesome. So I saw it. All 3 steps.
Yeah.
All right. Let's try one more. I don't think my business qualifies, or we don't qualify.
Yeah. You know, I actually hear that from most manufacturers. And the reason why is outside of PPP and ERC, you probably have never taken any. Those are probably the only 2 programs you guys have ever taken.
Mm-hmm.
What about WOTC? Did you guys ever dabble in that or anything?
No,
like that?
It just seems so difficult. I don't have the time to spend on it.
Yeah. You know, I hear that people don't think they qualify, but right there, we just found 3 programs you do qualify for.
That was interesting how you did that.
Yeah. And so, you know, right there, we've already found a couple. The good news is for a manufacturer, we look at over 100 local, state, and federal programs. I mean, 38 states have state level programs. There's a federal program for every manufacturer in the country. And what we do, we work on an ongoing basis. We've been doing this for 25 years. And we've built software that looks for every local, state, and federal program that a manufacturer would qualify for. And see, I've pointed, and I'm now at a point where they're going to say, what software? Well, what 100 programs? What? And now I'm leaning in with my iPad.
With it, yeah. So you answered the question, you normalized their objection or hesitation, you made them feel comfortable, and then you pointed them back to your goal, which in this instance was the software or the calculator.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. This is the one that I think we see most often. My CPA handles this, or I need to run it by my CPA. I call it the CPA block.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Look, we are already getting you guys putting these in the comments. Ryan asked you to be interactive. I'm so glad you're covering this. Christina says my CPA already handles that. Yep. I apologize. You don't have your name. It's just your company name. But this one says we pay a Big 5 accountant. I'm sure it's covered. God knows I pay them enough.
Yep.
This one specifically says my CPA said they can do this. CPA seems to be a very common block we're getting.
All right. So Ryan.
Well, with CPA, there's a couple of sides to it. One is I'm going to once again say, if you're getting CPA come up, first of all, it's my fault. I gave you a script that has the word tax incentives in it. So if you're seeing this come up, just to change that out of your script.
And it would drop the number of times. If you're feeling like you're encountering that quite a bit,
removing
some of the verbiage that could trigger that in someone's mind will help.
Yes, it'll reduce it. Keep in mind, I don't know anyone that got PPP from their CPA.
No, it didn't work that way.
The concept of getting federal incentives from somewhere other than your CPA,
it's not unheard of.
Yeah, it's not unheard of. So that's the first part of it. The other thing I'm going to do though is the same thing. I'm going to lean into that normalization of rarely and things like that. So, with that said, I work better in a role play environment. So throw that one at me again.
Well, I'm going to use my CPA can do that. Like he can handle that for me. I think he takes care of it for me.
Well, so I've been doing this for 25 years. What I can tell you is that I rarely have ever seen where a CPA does any of the programs, and $37 billion later in incentives, I've never seen a CPA that does all of them. But
Really?
there's a really easy test. Manufacturer like you, probably $300,000-$500,000 in a physical check. Did you receive a physical check from the IRS last year?
I would have remembered that. No, we did not.
Now, what I want to say is that's not uncommon. Again, I've rarely seen a CPA that works on a single one. They're not really, from my experience, CPA type programs.
Okay.
I've rarely seen one that's ever done any of these programs. I've rarely, if ever, found a CPA that does WOTC. I've rarely found a CPA that does some of the other state level credits. They typically, see what I'm doing there? Rarely. Typically, they typically work with a company like ours. And we work with CPAs all the time to, find these credits. It's really just different specialties. I would know the first thing about filing your tax return. And generally I find they wouldn't necessarily know about working with the state agency on how to process a candidate for WOTC. Like we all have our things that we're great at. Your CPA, I want you to think of them like your general practitioner. So this is your doctor. They know a lot of things about everything. They have to. They're the general practitioner. We're like a heart specialist. It's the only organ we work with. And so that's all I have to do. So you think about the number of things your CPA has to know. I only have to know about 100 programs, which sounds like a lot. See, I'm oversimplifying.
Right.
It sounds like your CPA probably has to know thousands of things. I just get to work with the same 100 programs year after year after year because the IRS isn't that creative. They don't ever come up. Congress, I'm gonna say Congress, not the IRS. Congress isn't really that creative. They don't come up with that many things new. In fact, most of the programs we work with, they've been around for 50 plus years. The clients I work with year after year after year. So, but the good news is, let's say your CPA's gotten you one of those programs or two of those programs. We've developed software that looks for hundreds of local, state, and federal programs. And we can do that because that's all we do.
I love it. I hope everybody that's listening is listening as Ryan's moving through each one of these responses and following and seeing the pattern on those 3 or 4 steps, however you look at it, and seeing where they're falling in each one of these responses.
Now, listen, don't let me off the hook. If you don't think I answered that the way a CPA is going to, then hammer me again come at me at a different angle. Like now I'm going to talk to you. I've been doing this for 25 years. I have never that I can think of been shut down by a CPA situation. I've walked in the door and immediately been sworn at that I'm not replacing my LED light bulbs for it. I'm like, where'd you get LED light bulbs from? I don't people misunderstand what it is you do. And often it's something either that you said or the person that teed you up for the appointment said, or the person that made the introduction or something in the email they picked up on. I've heard it all. What I can tell you is that when you're giving away free money, it is easy to de-escalate the situation and point towards something. If you follow these steps, you have to answer their question is valid. So, for the guy, I remember it was a car dealership and I walked in and said, hey, thanks. I know you're busy. It was like a third party introduction thing. He immediately started telling, listen, we're a car dealership. We need our bright lighting. I'm not taking it. I'm like, I agree. It looks beautiful in here.
What are you talking about?
My job is I actually work with car dealerships to get them incentives on money they've already spent, not to try to get you to change anything about your building. So I'm not sure where the disconnect is, but actually we've written software that, looks at all of this beautiful, all the tile, everything that you've done here. My job is to go get you money for what you've already done, not try to get you to change anything about your building. So no matter what they say, if you believe in what you do, you can just tilt it back to that.
There's a great one that's come up a couple times, and I don't know if you want me to replace with one of our next ones, but I'm going to tell you what it is and we can fit it in.
Yeah.
It's the issue of I don't own my building, like restaurants, for example, leasehold improvements qualifying for cost segregation.
I like
and
this
they are
one.
automatically like, well, I don't own the building, so I don't qualify for that. So I don't know if we want to put that in now or if we want to
let's
tag it
throw
on.
it at me.
Okay. So you're talking to me. I own a restaurant. I don't own the building. How can I get a credit for this building? I don't own it.
Well, do you employ the employees?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay, good. Well, the nice thing is there's over 100 programs we look at. Some of them are for being the employer, which you are.
Okay.
Some of them would, if you did any improvements here.
So if I paid, we had to do the lease build out, which was $500,000.
So you may qualify for,
even though I don't own
things.
the building, I can get that money.
Yeah. You employ the employees, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're good. You hire them, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. You pay their payroll?
Yeah.
I mean, through a payroll company or something? Yeah, then you're good. What I can say is there's programs for employers. There's programs for people that do improvements.
Okay.
There are programs for people that own the building. And what I would say is you probably want to get us in front of them, because if we can reduce the cost of the building, I imagine you're paying CAMs.
Mm-hmm.
So higher the cost of the building, higher your monthly bill is. So, but we can do that later. What I want to do now is we've developed software that looks through hundreds of local, state, and federal credits. I can tell you, as a restaurant, you're looking at programs for people you hire, programs for people that you retain. You're looking at programs, there's all kinds of new things around the FICA tip, topics. So as well as if you've done renovations, there's huge incentives that would create cash flow for you for those. What I want to do is go through, I have about 5 questions, and that'll tell me exactly what I need to know which programs you qualify for.
Right.
And boom, I'm in the calculator.
Right.
Your goal is to get in the calculator.
Right. And for people who are asked the question, like, where does it say? It doesn't say like leasehold. Just right there where it puts the question about how much the building cost, just put the amount of the leasehold improvements right there. It's the same number. It calculates the same way.
It doesn't matter if they bought the building for $500,000 or they put $500,000 into leasehold improvements.
Okay, back to mine. I have 2 more for you.
That was good. I like that one.
The next one is, I'm too busy. I don't have time for this.
I used to get this one a lot with R&D. I haven't had this one in years. Who put that?
It was last month, and it came in from a couple.
Yeah.
I think it's an older one that we
it's
used
somebody
to get.
That's working with manufacturing.
Yeah,
and that's okay.
I think it was actually a couple of people who worked with manufacturing specifically for some of the WOTC stuff, because it does take a minute to get some of that
probably
stuff.
R&D is the only place I've experienced it. So I guess my formula for that, it's largely the same, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the owner off the hook right away. I'm going to let them know that, actually, this is the last time I ever need to meet with you. What you're going to do is you're going to assign me to work with someone, generally, low to mid-level. I'm not going to need much of their time, maybe an hour, maybe a couple hours. But listen, if I get you $300,000, $400,000, $500,000,
the ROI on that seems pretty lucrative to me. So
let's try it. Throw that one at me. That's my formula. Okay.
I am just too busy for this right now. I don't have time for it.
Oh, listen, that's every client I work with. In fact, today, this meeting, this is probably the last time we'll ever need to meet.
Really?
The way this works is I run about 30 seconds, 60 seconds worth with you. I tell you what programs you qualify for. You tell me who you want me to work with. Now, on the other side, I'm not talking about your CFO or anything like that. Generally, this might be your janitor, a property maintenance person, maybe an office manager at best. And you got to figure, if I get you $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 and I tie up an hour of their time, I think our ROI is sitting pretty solid. So given the fact that you told me you're slammed, if you're okay with it, I'm sorry, not if you're okay with it. That's how you kill a deal right there. So you say, listen, unless you have any other, since you told me I'll just show you right now, and then you can be done.
Like it.
So let them, I do want to say, Kendra, so many people, they think that being with the owner is this like grand thing, and I should stick with the owner. And I got to tell you, play hot potato is what I used to teach in executive coaching. And this isn't a tax thing. This isn't for our services. This in general, get off the plate of the owner.
Right.
I can't stand, I'll give you a real example. Some years ago, I was getting a new life insurance policy and I was dealing with a new rep. And they couldn't get it through their head that I didn't want to be involved in this process, despite the fact that I have an office assistant and I have a personal executive assistant that handles stuff like this. I don't handle things. I don't mean to be like, I just don't handle things like this. So despite the fact that I came right out and said, listen, ask me the 3 or 4 things you need from me and then deal with it. They would come back to me all the time. And I know that I have to be involved in some, probably there's people, well, we need you as a, listen, I get that. But I'm telling you, 9 out of 10 questions that this person came back and asked, I would say, I literally like, so you're texting me so that I can text them so that they can text me so I can, like, I'm not doing it.
Mhm.
And finally I ended up just going with someone else because, and I said, listen, I know at some point I'm going to fill out the stupid packet and everything like that. But I swear,
But for
like,
them to understand that working with someone that you get
Yeah.
assigned to from an owner is your golden way in.
sorry, I started having like PTSD about advisors that want to do that. Like, I look at things the opposite. I'm just instantly looking to get off your plate. I know
Right.
most business owners don't want to deal with doc submission and all this other stuff. So play hot potato.
I want everybody to
in the
understand
first meeting,
too.
get handed off to someone.
I did not pre-prepare anybody for this. Like, I created these 6 based off of interactions with you guys and questions and everything, the feedback that me and Heather went through. Ryan, I didn't give these to him ahead of time. And that's why, like, it seems real because he's coming up with this on the fly. Like, he's done this 100 times, but
Yeah.
but the reason I did it that way is because I want you all to see that it is a formula, and that's how it kind of
Heather,
works through.
let's take a couple user ones. I'm going to start. You can toss me Craig's, and you can hit me some others, and then Kendra.
Oh, that's a good
I have to say,
one.
Craig's was my favorite one as I saw it.
I
coming in.
like
I'm
that.
like,
I like a
Craig, I give you a
challenge.
little applause. This
Thank
one,
you.
this is very nice.
Go ahead. You can. The way I work, Heather. I know you're new to this a little bit in the studio. You have to tee it up.
I get to be Kendra in this scenario.
Yeah.
Okay. So, tax season is kind of behind me at this point. Can we just talk next year?
Wow, that's not the one I was. I will
I
answer
saw
that
this
one first. The one I was talking about was the how do your calculations, but you're on that one.
Craig
I
has a
don't.
couple good ones.
Yeah.
So give me this and then give me Craig's. I missed it though, so give it to me again.
All right, shooting it back over. So, we already filed our taxes, so tax season's kind of behind us. Can we just talk next year?
Well, I mean, listen, you're in charge. You can do whatever you want. What I can say is that at any given moment, because we can generally go back 3 open years. At any given moment, you have programs that are expiring. Now, a manufacturer like you, let's say that I find you $700,000. That means about a third of that could go away between now and then. So it just depends on whether or not you could use an extra couple $100,000 in net revenue or not. I'm glad to call you back whenever you want.
I mean, I don't want to lose a third of my money.
Yeah.
All right, Craig, your other one is also amazing. So we're going to throw this one out there. So let me read over and make sure. Oh, yeah, I love this one. Okay. So tell me, how do I know that your calculations are correct and what happens if it's not?
Well, I'll tell you what the calculations are based on. They're based on 25 years of doing this for clients. They're based on $37 billion in incentives identified. And I can tell you that if we were in the habit of over promising and under delivering, we wouldn't have a business for very long. In fact, we kind of think the opposite practice is best. So we tend to shoot low on this because I think you're going to be much happier. Now, let's just say that, for whatever reason, there's a program we think you're going to qualify for and you don't, and you get less money. Then that's okay because we're all in the revenue share here. You can see from the screen here that we're on, because obviously he's asking his questions because I'm on the calculator, that we take a small portion of the benefit that gets identified. So, we're going to go out there, we're going to year after year look for as many programs as possible. But I can tell you that 25 years of doing this, in almost every case I've ever seen, the amount that we identify versus what we actually get is lower, not higher. That's just good business.
Great.
I love that.
Lots of great questions. And we are going to we're going to do a full Q&A too, as we wrap up.
But so the questions that are objections, I want to take.
They're great.
I'd like to take now as well. If it's a question, I want to save it. If it's an objection question, like what we just got.
I expense everything. What do I want credits for? You want to do that one?
Sure.
Because that's are you profitable or not?
Yeah, I expense everything. So.
Does that mean they're not profitable? Because
in Vanco Financial, if I don't answer this with what you were thinking,
yeah, if it's
the question was just put the question there. But so yeah, throw that at me, Kendra.
So, but I expense everything. Why would I want any credits? I don't get how it works.
Well, I mean, some of them are incentives, some are credits, some are refunds. There's all different programs. I mean, you pay payroll taxes, right?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. So some of the programs, we're going to look at that side of the equation. What I can tell you is with over 100 programs, the likelihood that you qualify for at least 2 or 3 of them is pretty high. So, and it really doesn't hurt to look at all. I mean, worst case scenario, you look and you're taking everything and you have peace of mind that you're taking everything. Process takes 30 to 60 seconds. It's like 5 questions. So I'll just ask them now and then.
Great. I saw the formula too.
Yep.
Followed all the steps. It's great.
I'm going to bore you with the same answer no matter what you ask me. In fact, I'd challenge you to try to ask me something. This is a little challenge there. Ask me something. Hey, Neil, how are you? You said hi to Heather, but not to me. I won't hold that against you. So I challenge you to throw, Neil, you've been at some of our live conferences. We play Stump the Advisor. So, but I challenge all of you, throw something in here. I will answer it with the same formula without dodging. I'm not dodging the question. I'm just pointing towards, so do we have any others we want to cover?
One question, and we may have covered this. Heather, I don't know from my iPad how to bring it up. So the one where it says, please list the 4 ways of handling objections again. So we'll go through this real quick, just in case somebody else wants to throw one in there.
Heather, one is, I remember, answer the question.
The question.
Do we still have those?
Number 1. Number 2.
Heather, you'll have to put them up so I can, point towards your goal. So you're either pointing towards running the calculator or you're pointing towards the discovery call with your team leader. And the third one is normalization. So you're going to do that by not making it feel stupid for asking that question. So if they say something as sensitive as my CPA handles that, you're not going to say, no, they don't.
Yeah.
You're going to say, well, listen, I've been doing this for 25 years. I find some CPAs that might do one of these, but rarely do I ever find.
That's it. I wish we had a better word for it, but that's the normalizing. That's making them feel comfortable with the way they feel about something. And you're continuing the conversation. I love that. My
4th one was look for the reason behind their question. Are they trying to blow you off? Like somebody saying I'm too busy for that. They're just trying to get rid of you. Like look for the reason behind it.
Somebody says, give them the proper response, you can overcome that.
Yeah. Somebody says, I don't really think as a restaurant we would qualify. Like they're just trying to get rid of you. So those are the 4. Any other objections?
That's
Go ahead.
Mine. And I know that somebody's going to say, well, that's not an objection. That's not a hesitation, but I do see this. And so I pulled it in and pulled it as the 6th one.
I'm so curious.
It is that this is from the client side. That sounds great. What do I do now? Like they're kind of left hanging. There's no close.
Oh, yeah.
And we see this happen, especially with newer partners and stuff. Like just not really knowing how to wrap it up in that initial.
Okay.
And this drives me nuts because I try to be like, you have the tool right here.
Write this down. Here's picture perfect what to say. Are you ready for this? I'm going to show you. So Kendra, we've wrapped our meeting. Heather, you can go back to wide there. We've wrapped our meeting and here's how to close the deal every time. Seriously, write this down. So, all right. Thanks, Kendra. I appreciate your time today. What I'm going to do is email you over some things to review and then I'll circle back next week.
No.
Yeah, that was sarcasm.
That's how not to do it, guys. And we had a question, and this kind of answers Craig's question too. He says, can you give it to us kind of for a newer advisor? Because your answers are polished. You've been doing this for 20 some years. You know what to say.
Yeah.
And giving them to you guys helps you to create your own versions of the same thing. But what you just said is for every new advisor.
Yeah. That's awful. Don't do that.
Yeah. If we can, the actual answer you're about to give is for every new advisor. So we can take it from that avenue and then.
Okay. Remember the purpose of a meeting, and meetings can happen everywhere now. They're not always sitting down. They can happen. They're a casual bump in at Starbucks. It's at the pool in Mexico. I've had many of those where I'm like, hold on, like, actually, I'll grab my phone. Let me show you. It's standing with your arms on the fence at the track meet.
Mm-hmm.
Meetings happen everywhere. So I'll use the term meeting loosely. Every dialogue needs to end with one of 2 things. You've either ran the calculator or you've booked a discovery call. There is no, I'll follow up with you. And this is, I know we're going to move to follow up in a few minutes. I hate follow up. Don't do follow up. Here's here's the thing. You don't have to do follow-up if you've already like if I'm talking to you and I'm like, let's say I'm talking casually and we didn't run the calculator or whatever, and I want to come to your office, or, I'm meeting you for Starbucks or whatever. And I'm like, well, cool. Yeah, let's connect. How about like 8:30 tomorrow? We'll meet up at Crust and that kind of thing. Like, I don't have to follow up. We have
That
an
is the
appointment tomorrow.
follow-up,
There's the
right?
follow-up.
Okay.
And then I'm sitting down with you. I'm going over, we talk casually for a little bit. We covered that last month in detail. Watch that. But in that meeting, I'm running the calculator all the time. It blows my mind when people say, well, I had a meeting, it went great. And this is what I always say, where's the client card? And they say, well, I didn't run the calculator.
They didn't finish. I emailed them the link and they haven't done it yet.
Don't
But
email
why?
the link.
You were right in front of them. You have it.
I wish
right
I had it in here with me. So I have all 3 iPad sizes. I know that's ridiculous, but so this one sits on my desk. I never take this on meeting. It doesn't have cellular. I have an iPad mini that has cellular, and I have that bad boy like everywhere.
I mean, you could literally do it on your phone.
You can. I also have my phone everywhere.
We've actually done this before. Ryan didn't know I was going to say this. We've been on vacation before, everybody. And the first thing they ask you when you're on vacation and you're just kind of milling about is, hey, what do you do? What do you do for a living? And I leave and go get snacks when Ryan covers that part. And I came back one time and he literally had his phone out going through the calculator with somebody because it is that easy.
I will say, so I just opened Safari on my iPhone and I have a tab group on here called Pages. That's just the name of mine. And Heather, go to this camera. I will show you. I literally have a tab group. All I did was swipe to it called Pages. And these are all my pages. And I have them preloaded. You could also do this in Notepad. And so I can click on like the feasibility report. It's going to load instantly. And I've got, we showed that a couple months ago on the cost seg page. So once I click on that, the nice thing, if I was talking to someone, for those of you who can see, this actually works pretty well. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to say, yeah, what we do is when I'm talking to a commercial property owner, I will run.
It actually looks pretty good on the phone.
And it looks really good on the phone. And then I'm going to say, actually, what I can do is let me generate one of those for you. And I'm going to go to the tab and I have my .me calculator open all the time. And so I'm going to click on that. I won't like bore you with it, but Heather, you can go back to wide. And so now I'm in my calculator. I know you can't see that. And I can just say, how many employees do you guys have? And I always start with that one. It's the second question, but you should know their industry. And if not, then you kind of add. But I always start with employees. It just seems more comfortable to me. So if I'm, I'm like, so how many employees do you guys have over there?
42.
42. Okay. And do you guys, you're a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
It's okay to ask. Like if you've forgotten, no, you're a manufacturer, right? Is that what you consider yourself? Okay. Now, how many people do you guys hire per year?
4.
Okay. Now listen, and here's how I ask the annual payroll one, because it can feel a little sensitive on the side of a track meet, is you say, now listen, some of the programs, they're actually like, the more your payroll is, the more credit you get. Like ballpark, what's your guys' payroll per year?
2.5 million.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. And then now, do you guys own that facility?
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm just doing this on my phone right as I go. This is easy. Okay. Now, if you're in a formal meeting, I love the iPad mini. I hate laptops for this. A laptop is like, let's see, leave it on wide. So this is, when I get a laptop going, this is what a laptop is like. Hi.
Wilson.
Yeah, it's Wilson. I like that. That's good. It's hi. There's now a barrier between us. And with an iPad, it could be anything. Just what I found doesn't work well is a Kindle. Like Kindles are like $39. Literally one of the Android tablets I've literally sitting in my car for this is, I think I paid $109 for it. This is not an expensive thing to do. It's more, the data plans are more expensive.
Right.
But you have these, I literally have one that sits in my car for this. If nothing, I'm always a few feet from my car. I can grab it. And then Kendra, you're into it like this. That's what I like about the tablet.
It's open. You can pull them in. They lean in to look at it.
Yeah. It's just, and our questions are so easy to do on a phone or a tablet. So
all right.
I think
we sufficiently.
Well, I guess. So the question again was, what's next? The client should never ask that, because if you're If you're meeting them casually and you're going to set up a meeting with them, that's what's next. If you're in that meeting, you should have ran the calculator. One of the last steps of the calculator is to book a discovery call, especially for those of you that are in premium, you're in a program. You've got a dedicated team leader that's going to do this pitch for you. So all you got to do is run the calculator.
Comment about Bam Fam. It matches what you're saying.
Go ahead.
It's up there. Book a meeting from a meeting. Like, don't ever.
Oh, I like that.
Don't ever walk away because you're letting that door close.
Yeah.
You walk away.
Now I got to tell you, for those of you who don't know Neil's
my buddy. I miss
I
you.
will I'll try not to undersell some of his capabilities, but he is what I would call a networking master.
Yeah.
I used to stand at conferences and say, don't go to BNI. You're never going to get any business out of it. I was wrong. Neil taught me how to draw business out of a BNI group or groups like it. You know, the giver's gain mentality of going in there. Neil's done business consistently year after year after year, sometimes a one-off hotel and sometimes entire chains of hotels and grocery stores and countless business. So he knows what he's talking about when he says that. Book a meeting from a meeting. You know, so you never, ever. So let me go through the scenarios. I run into you in the store at the grocery. You ask how I'm doing, what I've been doing lately. Man, we should get together for coffee. That's the next. I've got a meeting.
You actually do it.
Now I've got a meeting and I sit down and I run the calculator with you. At the end of that, maybe I've booked a discovery call. Okay, that's the next step. There's no follow-up needed. Mm-hmm. Now, there does come this point where we're into doc collect. The system is into doc collect. Kendra, this is where I get handed off. Okay, so I'm sitting down, I'm meeting with you, and I've got everything. There's no next appointment. Then the thing is, you say, okay, so we're doing property tax mitigation for you. There's a few documents that we're going to need. Who do you want me to get those from? And I'm adding them as a contact as I go throughout this process. There's never book a meeting from a meeting, book a next step. Neil, I don't know what the acronym would be here, but book a next step from that meeting. Always. You should never be, I'll send it to you. I'll get that to you. It's who do you want me to work with from here? And they say, oh, well, that's Cassandra over in accounting. Yep. Okay, great. Then when I get back to my home office, I'm sending Cassandra an email. I'm CCing you. And I'm saying, hey, Cassandra, I want to introduce myself. Yeah. There's 3 things that we need. Here's the pay. Now the system does this for you. Don't get caught up in that side of things. But know that you want to get handed off. So any other questions?
I don't think so. None that kind of apply for this part. We will have some when we get to Q&A. So.
All right. I think that was all of them. And I think we've sufficiently role played. Heather, I do want to talk about the other side for a moment. Sorry, I skipped ahead. So we talked about the meeting side. I want to talk about the F word.
I want to talk about the reality of the F word first.
Yeah.
The follow up. Because we talked about earlier at length about getting things done first and not having to. But if it makes it that far, we hate doing it. It's frustrating and irritating. But over 80% of deals actually do end up in that category. Like overall, when we're talking about sales as a whole.
Yeah.
And there is a thing about follow-up, and it's not just, okay, I have to do this 5 times. And if I do it 5 times, they don't respond, then they're dead.
Yeah.
No, sending the same stale email 5 times is not going to get you the result that you want. The follow-up is about doing it multiple different ways and in a casual way. We've moved into that realm. We know that the same stale formal email is not going to get you anything. So keep that in mind.
I want to go in there for a second too. In the old days, I had to do most of my follow-up happened like post calculator, and that's why I would have to chase for documents and things like that. The system is so efficient at this now. I got to tell you, I want you to, like, as the listener, put a lens on this. Most of the follow-up I have to do, like the last 3, 4, 5 years, is to get the appointment in the first place. It doesn't, things have changed. People are busier, that kind of thing. The tone is more casual. But so Kendra, there's like, not only is there 2 sides, there's a meeting and follow-up, but follow-up goes on both sides of, Heather, make that follow-up swing on the other side too. You can't do that in real time.
There's follow-up pre and post.
Yeah. There's like follow-up where I might have to like, hey, Matt, when are we getting together? Like, Hey, bud, I know I reached out to you last week. You're super busy. Come on, man. I just need like 5 minutes. Hey, if you're too busy for coffee, let's just hop on the phone for 10 minutes. I'll knock this out. So I agree with what you're saying.
I think no matter which angle we're looking at it, though,
Yeah.
there is a change tonal.
Yeah.
That happened. And I've said this before. I don't know if it was caused by COVID, post-COVID attitudes, whatever the cause is, the tone has changed in the way we communicate and follow up and reach out.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing it in a casual manner, you are going to get lumped in with every other mass email that they're getting from every grocery store, chain store, their mortgage company. And we don't want that to happen. We've created a lot of information about it. I don't want to sit there too long, but the tone has definitely changed in the way that we're going to be engaging with everybody.
Sounds good. Speaking of Wilson, tool time. And Heather, before you put it on the screen, I want you to do something. I want you to scroll past the first slice.
Can I give a little preemptive?
Well,
I won't give anything away.
I'm coming back to that, but go ahead.
So Ryan comes to me and my team sometimes in advance,
I'm not telling
sometimes
about the tool
not.
yet.
Oh, okay.
I told her to scroll past the first slice. Sorry.
All right.
And then come back to that. So I'm preempting your preemptive. Okay. Don't go there right now, but on the blueprint page, there's a couple of things. The first section is who qualifies. Actually, it's the second section because I had her skip the first section. For those of you that are, noobs, that's what you were asking about. That is everybody that qualifies. Heather, go back to that for just a second. So you can see I like how you have this set up, Kendra. I think it says, what's that first word say, Heather?
Top. Over here, it's top. Yep.
Top, great, good. These are the people you want to be going after. So this is who you should be targeting. The second slice here is positioning. Kendra, this is a 15-minute condensed of what you and I talked about last month. This is live role play where we go through exactly what you should say on an appointment. And then we have things like, I'm sorry, do you want to add anything there?
Go ahead.
And then we have scripts, the buddy approach, the division approach, what to say when you meet with someone in person. You've got some social posts pulled here. So really, I know we have a whole toolbox, but right on this blueprint page, you have everything you need. Now, Heather, you can go back to that second slice for a minute, and we have something new that we're unveiling. So now
this is actually going to answer several questions, like where your tax asked a couple questions about client cards and things like that. So guys, pay attention. We're going to come and address your questions specifically, but this section is going to cover that. Now, Ryan, my team sometimes wants to just like literally strangle him because sometimes he comes to us in advance a couple months and says, hey, I have this idea. What could we do for X? And we have time. We like plan it out. We prepare, we research, and we build. Sometimes he doesn't. And this one was, we had about 30
I gave you
days,
like almost a month for
this tool. And he came to me and he said,
hey, we have in-house developers. I'm gonna defend myself a little bit. We have in-house developers. We have a marketing team.
We use the marketing team only.
Well, no, the in-house developer. You don't shortchange all the AI side of things.
That's true.
And so we have in-house developers. We have marketers, and yes, I do hold their feet to the fire to.
So the tool that you're about to see, I get excited when we launch new stuff to you, but this one I think I am most proud of. Because it answers a need many of you, I think, have been expressing, not even knowing what it was that you needed. And it ties a lot of things together that you're going to want
Well,
to
I
see
want to talk
together.
about some of the questions that we get asked. Some of which are, how do I position differently if I know them versus don't? Or
what email do I send if they're my best friend from high school and now they own a manufacturing company?
And this is tough because in the toolbox, you have all these industry-based emails
and
they're
things. Templates, but they don't reach that need for
and then there's
being able to create one based off of different situations.
Well, and then you also have this one's a tough one. I always struggle with this. So especially if you're in premium, you have a lot of different landing pages.
Where do I send them?
So you have manufacturing pages, hotel pages, you have cost seg pages, you have R&D pages, you have WOTC, you have TMS general pages, you have your press releases. So, Kendra, I guess I could summarize it by saying one of the problems is, what do I say? How do I say it? Where do I send them? And I asked your team for an AI-based tool that would guide anyone through that. And
we came up with it.
I am very excited to
Not
show
only
that.
we came up with that, I think we did it one better, and we'll
Now,
show you why.
What I
think
will
that in a
say,
second.
I'm going to give a caveat. Most of you are in premium. See what I did there? I normalized. Most of you are, in this case, most of you are in premium. And most of you have been in premium for years. And so you understand you're getting all these. I don't ever talk about premium because then people in the comments, they're like, oh, you're just trying to sell premium. Let me counter sell it for a second. All of this stuff that we're about to show you exists in the toolbox already. You can go self-shop off of the pantry shelves and get all of this. There's nothing new or original in what we're about to show you. It exists. It's free to you. For those of you in premium, this tool that I'm about to show you, this portion is just for premium. And part of that is it's going to tee up tools that only people in premium have. And I don't want to, it's so tough, Kendra, because so many times I don't want like people to feel like we're selling to them. So I don't show these things. So right here, I'm just going to say unapologetically, most of you are in premium anyways. So I don't want to apologetically not show that. If you're not in premium, then we'll show you a way to get in premium afterwards and get access to some of this stuff.
Right.
So with that said, Kendra, I'm really excited to show, and Heather, you can scroll up.
Those of you who have cheated and already went to the...
No, you can't do that because you'll lose your stream.
Yeah,
right
don't
now.
leave.
Okay, so here it is right here. Build the perfect email in Kendra. That's such a bad, it's not 3 minutes flat. It's 3 seconds flat, but we'll show that in a second. This is, so build the perfect email. So what you're going to do is the first thing is you're just going to answer what type of relationship this is. Now, Kendra, talk for a second. Why do we need to know this? How does this impact the perfect email that you're going to produce?
Your relationship sets the entire tone for the email. How they know you is how you need to communicate with them. Otherwise, the email is going to come across very weird.
Yeah.
It's not going to hit the right tone. So the first thing we need to know is, how do you know this person?
Yeah. So Heather, let's pretend this one's a work relationship, meaning I've sold them an insurance policy before or something like that. The second thing we're going to ask is what industry they're in. Kendra, I think it's pretty obvious, but how are we using this information in the output?
Without knowing the pain points that this person experiences, how can
I hope they're so excited right now.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
They're not. I am. How can we ever actually tie back our solution if we don't know their pain points? Their pain points are associated with the type of business they are. So we ask them simply what industry they're in to be able to know.
Well, and I'll say dynamically, this is where we're going to send them as well.
Right.
So
how we're going to communicate with them, not only within the email that we're going to generate, but also where eventually what site we're going to send them to. It's going to be pulled in off of their industry.
Yep. So let's go manufacturer in this case. In the last one, Kendra, this is you always tell me to be, I always tell them to be agnostic.
There's a reason on services. We tell you to kind of let the calculator do it for you, but there's a bridge that ties together your content in this email. And that bridge is, how are you approaching them? Are you approaching them overall for tax incentives? Great. Click that. If this is a manufacturer and you want to highlight R&D, click that.
Yeah.
If this is a hotel, you want to hit them with cost seg, click that.
It's
because
like,
this
what
is a
tone
bridge.
are we using and what page are we going to send them to?
Right.
So now, Heather, let's say R&D.
So with those 3 questions,
we
and
now
with
have
the power of AI, we have, I would say, almost the perfect introductory email for any situation.
This is going to generate a dynamic subject line. It's going to acknowledge the previous relationship and the previous business. Heather, I can see there you're sending them to the manufacturing page. Let's talk about why that's important for a minute. Heather, can you click on that for me? This is my page, but so notice this is your page. It'll have your ID, your name at the bottom. But Heather, we're driving them over to a manufacturing page where they can live calculate, which is going to create a client card on your system, by the way. Book a call. This is why this is a premium tool. That's a direct link to your team leader's calendar in real time. We've got case studies.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like Ryan said, these tools have always been available, but tying them together in just a click, click, click manner. I mean, it gets
we just dynamically
easier.
Using AI.
Yeah, there's no question that you have to ask. We
generated something personalized for this client.
Who am I communicating to? How am I communicating to them? And why am I communicating to them? And where am I sending them? All happens for you.
Okay. So let's go back again.
I hear it. This is awesome. This is great. I'm glad. If
Let
you
us know
guys
in the
think this is
comments.
great, tell us, because there was a lot of late nights getting this thing to come and work and be perfect for you.
Okay, I mentioned some of the questions people want to know. Generally, they want to know, what would I say to someone that this, or what would I say to someone that I know? What would I say to a manufacturer? Where would I send a manufacturer? Right. But the other thing is, people want to know, what social post should I use for a manufacturer? And so, Heather, there's a little hidden button there.
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, you just gave it away. This is what I was building to as an add-on. I think that the email builder in and of itself is simply amazing, and I'm so excited about it because, as Ryan said, we pulled it all together for you. Every question you ever ask about what I should use. But I thought, why can't we make this a little bit better? And like earlier, I think it was Warrior Taxes asked, when do we make a client? Yeah. When do we make a client card? And like, how do I follow up? We are going to do that for you too. So up there at the top, it says build a client card and action plan. And if you decide to do that, it's as simple as clicking do it.
Okay, so let's do this in real time. So Heather, let's do a test manufacturer.
Okay.
And
I'm getting chills. Everybody's so excited.
So what this is doing right now is, you notice this is just a couple pieces of information, and you're saying that it's a manufacturer so that we can generate dynamically, what it is for the client. And what this is going to do in the background is, when Heather hits submit, first of all, it's going to go out to your CRM, and it's going to generate a new client card in real time. And then it's going to, and I love this, in addition to writing a client card for you, it generates a 14-day closing strategy.
That's not
custom to all those questions that you just went through.
And that's not all that's on this page. I love the fact that one of our best team leaders is like, this is outstanding. Like, they didn't even know this was coming live. So Steve, thank you. So when you get here, that next question that you guys always ask after you send that first email is like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, literally, what do I do? Do I just send them a couple texts? Do I try to connect? Like, what do I do? So what this does is it generates a 14-day closing strategy. You do have to pick the service that you're leading in with. Again, I could not connect those two functions, but it's right there. It's super
cost seg, R&D, specialized tax. Specialized tax is like everything. So you can choose if you want to hyper focus or if you just want to go tax in general.
Yeah, the first 14 days are pivotal. So what we've done is we've developed a closing strategy for you covering those first 14 days, give you things to say, to do, to follow up, text, emails, voicemails, reaching out via LinkedIn, sending a Loom. Everything is here for you. It all pre-populates with your numbers, your links.
And they already take into account dynamically with the client what the goal is. So Kendra, the goal with this one is to get a calculator filled out at the current moment. So you're going to notice dynamically and intelligently, all of these are driving the client towards the calculator because that's what we need at this point. Now, another cool feature here, another reason this is a premium tool, is everyone that's in premium has a buddy, has a team leader. So Heather, click book a call, and you're going to notice, I've said before in the calls, my team leader on my account, my team leader is Kate. And anyone in premium has a team leader, including me. And so my calls go to Kate. And so in this case, this is Kate's live real calendar.
Yep.
So you can see this, you can book a client
You have
call.
to book it with the client for it to go through. It can't be one-on-one with you and the team leader. You do that a different way.
You can be calling the client and doing a call using the script that Kendra just showed you on the action plan. Mm-hmm. And they get on the phone and you're like, yeah, let's book a call. So you get the opportunity in premium. You can book a call with your team leader.
You don't have to send them a link for them to do it. You pull it up, you do it right then. There is no time wasted and you capture it in the moment.
Now, let's say you're doing your follow-up and Heather, for my own, so go back to a follow-up for a minute, and I'm doing one of those phone calls that's outlined here, and they're like, well, how much would I qualify for? Go ahead and click generate savings report.
Isn't this awesome, guys? You're literally going to ask them the few questions right here.
I got to say something. This is tied to the client card.
Yes.
You're not creating a new client card here. So right while I'm on the phone, I can say, well, actually, because if they say, maybe you're saying, well, I want to book a time to call, and they say, well, how much do I really qualify for anyways?
You get to
say, well, how many employees do you guys have? How many, let me say, how much do you do you guys own that building you're in? And you can go through this process as you're going this, and Kendra, all of this is being saved to the client card.
Can you guys tell I'm excited about this? I'm
I
like on the
hope they're
edge of my
getting
seat.
this.
So if you're excited about it, please put it down in the chat because I do want my team to see it. Not only that, there's more on this page as well.
Yeah.
If there's additional follow-up that needs to take place in the client card, there's a spot for that there on the left-hand side as well.
Yep.
And then across the top, you can see it can take you back. It's got a little menu there. It can take you back to some of the other pages that are associated. So I think,
Heather, I want to go back at the top to the blueprint for a moment, and I want people to see, because that took us 5, 6, 10 minutes to do. But I want you to think about this in real time for a minute. The thought occurs to you that you want to reach out to someone, and you say, okay, well, they would know me by name, but I've never done business with them. Go ahead, Heather. Look at how quick this is. So they know me by name, and then it's a car dealership, auto dealership, sorry. And I want to lead with cost seg. See how quick that was?
boom, boom, boom.
Bam.
Okay, now we have an email that, Mike, it's been too long. Hey, your name popped up and I couldn't reach out. Whoops, sorry. I'm going really far away. So
It is small.
can I go
For
like
us
this?
to read
No,
it.
I can't. All right, I'll try again. So, hey, Mike, it's been way too long. Listen, your name popped up and I could not reach out. What do you got going on over at this is really impressive. And I think I've stumbled into something that you'd be genuinely right up your alley. And then you're going into this pitch that's there. Notice, Heather, if you highlight for me, we don't have to go to the page, but we're sending them to the car dealership page. So when they do land there, we're sending them the Let's Talk link, which is a direct link, by the way, to Kate's calendar, because Kate's my buddy. And so they can click there, and in real time, it's going to compare Kate's calendar. I'm going to get invited too, by the way.
Yes, it is a 3-way call.
So
Danko.
everything is right there. Heather, just for like one last time, go back to the top of this process. And I want people to see how quickly this happens. Okay, so doesn't know me. Let's go cold. Doesn't know me. Restaurant. And let's lead with cost seg. That's it. Ta-da. Okay. So this is going to send a cold email to this person. It's going to generate everything for you. It's got your links in there. It doesn't get any easier. Before we jump into Q&A, because I know people are going to have to start going, Heather, for those not in premium.
Yeah, I do see quite a few people asking how they can get into that for this tool. So
Okay.
definitely want to pull that
So
up here.
go to the blueprint page. What you'll do right after this call, which, by the way, on the page you're viewing right now, or the page you clicked when Kendra emailed you, hey, it's time to join.
Mhm.
You'll come here. You're going to see this tool, whether in premium or not. Here's how you'll know if you're in premium. When you start clicking through it, you'll either get the results or you'll get routed over to this page. So let me tell you about premium for a moment. And I don't want to hear any comments about, oh, Ryan's trying to pitch me. Listen, you hear these all the time, and I've never pitched premium. So I'm just telling you because there's people in the chat asking, here's what's in premium. Premium's $99 a month. You get the new email builder. Kendra, it looks like you're doing second month free. That's
I
generous
just
of you.
wanted to make this tool available to everybody so you can get in and you can see what it's all about.
Yeah.
So if you do end up, most people are already in it, but if you're not and you want to try it, you get a month free.
You get a dedicated one-on-one coaching call with your new team leader. So you guys can work on a strat. So you can get on the phone with Steve or Chris or Kate or, one of the team leaders. So you can work out a strategy and kind of go through that. Additionally, for those of you that, if you have any interest in underpayment, you should already be doing this because this gives you live calendar booking, no back and forth, gets you the client automation, gets you the underpayment. So and the reason I wanted that on there is because Kendra,
Gives them that full website too.
Some people might be thinking, oh, there's that premium program that gets me underpayment,
It's
and
all
then
the
there's
same
another.
program.
It's all the same program. Like you don't have to do two programs. So if you already have that, then you're already in premium.
Mhm.
You get the dedicated one-on-one TL support. You get the explainer videos. These cost a lot of money to host.
Yes,
We have
they
coded
do.
explainer videos
Those as well as the HTML emails
that are
pretty
tied to
expensive,
each individual. And same thing with the HTML. We have to host all of those HTML emails and code them back to each of you as individuals. So as well as the extended social posts. So a lot of different things in premium. So I think that's all I want to say about that. If you're not in premium, I'll tell you what, join it. go through your favorite scenarios, get your second month free. Kendra, go through your scenarios and cut and paste all into a Word
You want to
doc.
go into all the emails? Go ahead.
We don't care. We just want you to have deals.
I want you to see the value in the tool and to be able to use it and benefit from it.
All right, Heather, take us back to that 14-day action plan, because that was beautiful with the generate report. And we are going to take as many questions. I'll start with, is the new tool connected to our client card CRM, or is a link to a new client card? Okay. And Heather, I can't see that yet. Maybe you're trying. Sorry. So when you're going through the initial questions and you were given the opportunity to create a new client card, that 14-day action plan that generates, that is tied directly to the client card. So you don't have to create new ones. It's like you're interacting with your client card in real time. And all of the action plan that's up here is based on the client card. This is an action plan that's custom to your client, has their client ID, their information.
And I do need to add this, but you do want to bookmark this page.
Yes.
So once you
For
get
each
here
client.
for the first time, each client bookmark it. I don't have a way of regenerating it.
This is a new system, and there's not really an easy way to get back here. We'll work on that for future release. And Heather, you can go to that generate savings report and because I want people to remember, when you're following up and you're talking to someone and you're interacting with this page and putting in some values while you're talking, put in correct values, because this is writing to their client card. So good questions there. I'll take one more, and then Heather, I know you'll be caught up and can kind of start feeding us, but thank you, Martha. I don't know why people are anti-pitch if what you have helps them do business. I appreciate that. And I got to say, remember that our entire approach, as well as premium, aren't just designed to help you sell more cost seg or more R&D. They're designed to help you get in front of more people. So hopefully you're doing more health and life, you're doing more real estate, you're doing more investment accounts, whatever the case is.
The more successful you guys are, the more successful we are. And it doesn't have to be with just our services. If we give you a tool that helps you to generate income with your other services, amazing.
If you can find a way to get more in front of more financial clients that cost less than $99 a month, that is as easy as pitch. Imagine you want to be in front of doctors. I hear that one all the time. Is there an easier pitch than, hey, we work with medical practices here in Southeast Michigan, and on average, we can find $350,000 to $450,000 in federal incentives? Like, nobody else pitched them that this month. Whereas for life insurance or for money management or other things like that, you're stacked up against. So if you can find a different marketing program that's going to get you in front of people, by all means do that. So thank you, Martha. We appreciate that. I always feel apologetic because once in a while people like to get frustrated about it. And I also understand that you're here to learn, not be pitched to pay us more money. So I also get that side. Other questions?
Dart has a question on here I'd love to address. So his question is, how does the calculator help for an R&D tech company that has a lot of R&D, less than 12 employees, no property or improvement? And notice he says less than 12 highly paid employees. So I think that's important to mention. It doesn't have to be highly paid employees.
Our smallest R&D that I've ever done was a 2-employee engineering firm out of Chicago. It doesn't matter. We're looking at, on the other side, it could be thousands of employees that are very low tech. What I can tell you is that the more technical they are, the more money they're going to make, and therefore the more money you're going to make. So a 12-employee, high-paid, highly technical firm is probably going to earn you more commission than a 100-employee job shop. So yeah, that's, I don't know. Did I answer the question? How does the calculator help? Okay. Maybe what he means is, how does the calculator take that into account? Remember, under promise, over deliver. So Heather, do that industry. Industry drop down won't show up on live screen, will it? So when you click on this, there's going to be a lot of industry. There's software. There's other types of, besides just manufacturing.
Biotech, biomed. Yeah.
But what's going to happen is, we might show them a little bit lower number here, but then when we get on the discovery call and we start going through the process, we're going to be the hero. We might find them 5 times as much. That's okay because we're getting paid based on the credit that we get them. Good question.
A lot of our questions we answered during. So if for some reason we didn't answer your question and you had submitted it earlier, go ahead and just resubmit it so we can see it pop up at the bottom there.
I think Wayne's question is an interesting one that kind of helps tackle what type of contacts you should be reaching out to. And it sort of goes back to when Ryan was talking about getting it off the plate of those high-level executives. Wayne's question is the VP of R&D a good contact at a manufacturing client?
Absolutely, especially if it's somebody that you do know or have some type of relationship with. Even if it's a cold reach out, absolutely great person to connect with for R&D tax credit. I would just get in and use your introduction email builder and send them an email today.
Neil wanted to know about the R&D startup credit. Most people aren't familiar with this. Neil, there's elections on this for 2026. I don't know if it's been renewed past that, but there are elections on this for 2026. Yes. There's also, I don't want to get too complicated. I know there's some new offsets they put in, but those aren't going to be effective until the current tax year. I think, Neil, we're still under the old rules for 1 more year, and then it's going to get a little tighter in its offset.
John's question is, are these PP pages in the back office? And I think he's referencing what we used to call it Presentation Pro for that calculator, the software itself. Are the pages in the back office to show that? Which takes us kind of back into the blueprint.
When he says PP, what does he mean?
I think he means Presentation Pro, I think.
Oh,
wow. That's been a minute.
A long time, yeah. So it's the software now.
Yeah, the software. Presentation Pro was retired quite some time ago. It's, living on a beach somewhere now in, Mexico. But as far as the tool itself, you saw right, Heather's got it for you right there. So when you're on this page that you've bookmarked, and I will go in and make like a blinking something to remind you guys to bookmark this page. Right there, it's going to be under generate the savings report, and you answer the questions, and that's what it's going to do. It's going to move you through that generation or the calculator or the software, whichever verbiage you want to use for it.
Yeah, all of the presentation pieces are built right onto that blueprint homepage, which I can pull that up to here.
I was like, what does PP stand for?
So all the presentation pieces are built right off of, this is the blueprint. So Ryan was saying earlier, the page that you're on right now to watch this, it's going to be on that page. Just don't click on it yet because you'll lose us. And I know there's still some really great questions, but that's where all of the presentation is built into, is that blueprint.
I'm not going to add this one, but I'll answer it on the side. What if your identity is specific to another organization or your own organization or something like that? GMG is your specialized tax incentive division, no matter how you identify. So there shouldn't be really any. Yeah,
we talked about this last month with the division approach. So let's say that you identify, I'll just use one as your main thing that people know you as is Keller Williams Group or something like that. Then what you're going to say is you're going to say that, excuse me, our specialized tax division. Now, I do want to show you, Heather, flip back over that action plan tab. This one right here. Notice, sorry, where you were. I said action plan, but I meant the savings. Okay. We do very minimal branding on our calculator and things like that. So notice
if you are sharing your screen, it's just going to be the G.
Yeah. Like, cause you'd be in the calculator. You wouldn't be on this page. This is internal. But yeah, you're just going to have the G that's there. So there's not a lot of branding that's there once you've created a client card.
And if there's any question, you just say, this is our specialized tax incentive division. It still creates a client card. You still get all the other services and everything in there. Sam has a great question. Are the follow-up emails auto sent, and are they spread out to avoid overwhelming the prospect? I'm sorry, I can't go that far and send them for you, but they are spread out. If you're looking at the 14-day closing strategy, you'll see that there is a specific day by day. And this is actually, we took a lot of engineering behind how often you're sending, when you're sending what, and all of that. But you actually do have to cut and paste that.
I will say too, even if we could, your deliverability out of a Gmail or
is much
a
better
Microsoft
than
account
ours.
Yahoo, if that's still a thing, it is. Hotmail,
really?
Yahoo is. Hotmail still is. Your deliverability out of any of those is going to be much higher than anything we can do out of a platform.
Yeah. I did as much automatically as we could for you, though.
I do like.
I like.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you
Cutting
pick
in
yours,
front of you.
and then I'll.
I like Felix's question.
I just like the name Mic Drop
Mic drop
Mike.
Mike.
So we're going to Mic Drop
I knew
Mike
it.
next.
We'll come back to Mic Drop Mike. Felix's question is an objection that he's seen. We already took R&D. If they find out about other things, do they have to already redo R&D? Do they have to then change and do through us or pay for it? I think we need to just clarify that it's going to be what they qualify for is what they're actually going to use with us.
Here's how I would answer that. So, because this is throwing an objection. So if someone says, well, we already took R&D, are we going to have to? No, what we're going to do is we're going to look at over 100 local, state, and federal programs. And of those, we'll see which ones you qualify for. If you've taken some of them, great. If not, then, we'll take a look at those programs and see what you qualify for. And those would be the ones that we obtain for you. But no, our fee would be based on, what programs we find
and that we actually move forward with.
Yeah.
Mic drop Mike.
Yes.
Did you want to do his question?
Heather, this is a question for you.
Which one is it? Because I have to say, he also put in this amazing.
It's his latest one.
Backwards. Wow. Every way you can
like
say
that.
it.
No, his very last
really love
one.
the tool.
His very last. It's the latest comment actually in the board. There we go.
Okay. Can we pick our TL? Great question. You're not going to pick your TL. We're going to pick your TL. And we do that very strategically.
Yeah.
First of all, our team leaders go through incredible hands-on training with us, and they've already been successful in the field. And our experts are experts for a reason, but we're going to pair the expert with you that's going to be best fit for the kind of clients you're putting in. So you don't pick the TL, but we promise we're giving you the best expert as your TL.
I'll answer Candu's question. Are you proposing we send 14 days at a row with no breaks in the communications on weekends? Heather, if you can share that screen, if you see it, it does not have 14 days of actual every day.
Yes.
It skips, like there's day 1, day 2. I can't see it from here.
Day 4 gets skipped.
There's 2 and 3 days, and not all of them are an email either.
Right.
Sometimes let's run through this real quick. So today you're going to send an email. Tomorrow you're going to do nothing. The day after that, you're going to do a text. The day after that, you poke them with a voicemail. Then you're taking 2 days off. Then you're sending an email. Notice we're on day 5. We're only sending the second email.
And then you just reach out via LinkedIn.
All you're doing is connecting with them on LinkedIn. So we're not emailing 14 times. In fact, you see in here, Kendra, email number 3 is the second to last. Then there's the breakup email. Yep. Breakup email is the one that'll get you the most business, by the way.
It actually does.
Yeah.
You're giving away the secrets. Yeah.
Sorry. Well, good one there. Any other questions we want to go through? We are a bit over on time, if there is such a thing.
There is one question. Renuka's question is this new tool connected to our current client card CRM, or is this linked to creating new client cards?
So when you're using it, it is going to create a new client card. So if you have somebody that you already have a client card for, you can do the email part, but don't.
I'll tell you what you could do is this a specific one? You could reach out to support and ask for the link if you're in premium, because you have to be in premium to see this page run right now. You could ask for the link for that client, and we could get you set up. So if you had a couple that you were like, hey, I want the 14-day action plan, but they're already in there,
the team can get it for you.
The team could get you that link. All right. Any other questions? Or if not, Heather, I'll move to close. Oh, go ahead.
She says, if we use the term our specialized tax division, does that not take us back to the CPA subject? I haven't found it to be so.
I haven't either, but you could say our specialized incentive division. So you can change that a little bit and kind of go from there. Okay. Heather,
great questions, everybody.
Take us to full screens. No, you can come in too. Don't leave. Okay. So let's recap what you're going to do. So you're viewing this either on a web page or on YouTube or Facebook. Either way, you got an email a couple hours ago. You clicked on that email. It took you to the broadcast page. On that broadcast page, you're either watching right now or you went to YouTube. So that page right there, if you were to scroll up a little bit from where you're watching, there's a link that says Blueprint. Additionally, in about a half hour, you'll get an email from Kendra saying, here's how you get to the blueprint page. So either one of those will get you. When you land over to the blueprint page, you can do one of two things. If you're in a program, you can just start using the new email tool. Start using this right away. If you're not in a program, get in a program. Get in there, if nothing else. Get your second month free, cut and paste a bunch of
for
stuff.
60 days.
Kendra, steal all her stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, go in there. I mean, for $99, go gut her page, cut and paste it all into Microsoft Word, and you got a year's worth of content to do. I literally I know I shouldn't say that, but it's true. You can do that. So go in, use that tool, get set up. If there's ever a time you were going to try it, this is the time to do it, and get going on that. What is our next broadcast day? Mark that in your calendar.
Beginning of June.
I think it's June 1st.
I believe so as well.
So let's see.
It'll be in the broadcast follow-up.
It's June 1st. So Monday, June 1st, 3 p.m. Eastern. You want to be back here. And Kendra, as you said, this is a good time of year to be out there talking to people, because although it's not tax season, it's still a time where they just had taxes on their mind. They have liabilities right now. You should be the one wiping them out. So. All right. We appreciate everyone, and
excited to see you use the new tool. Give us any feedback that you'd like. Reach out to the support department. They'll be happy with any questions or anything that you need, and let us know how it's working for you.
See you in a few weeks.